Hello, Laemmle Leaguers. What's happening? It's Commissioner Patton here with Mike D. As you all know, it's a tradition in this league that the commissioner puts out a weekly email recapping the week that was and the drama that unfolded. But this season, we're going to level up. We're going to try a little something new with legendary experienced podcaster Mike D. We're gonna do a weekly podcast for you guys and talk about what's happening in the league.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's what's on tap for this season. So anyway, let's dive right into it. The game of the week honors this week is gonna be split between two matchups, and that is the two co-hosts of the show, myself and Mike D, our games respectively. Mike D and Parker faced off in by far the highest scoring matchup of the week. And I was able to just barely edge out Grant for the closest matchup of the week. So let's begin right there. Let's start with your matchup against Parker.
Yeah, 145. Like it. My hopes were in this drafting was that everything you read coming into the fantasy season that Barkley's back. He's not gonna be the old Barkley, and sure enough, he took off and got me 30 points.
That was exciting. I've got him in my B league, of
Yeah.
course, being my A league. And so, yeah, I wanted him very badly in this league. You sniped him. You took
Yeah.
him right in front of me. I was upset. I was very upset. I was kind of kicking myself because I had thought about him. I picked 10, 11. Thought
Yeah.
about taking him at 11, but I wanted a tight end right away. So,
No, it was crazy. It went down to this might even show our box scores. But that it might be actual.
yeah, I don't know. I'll bring
Oh,
it
it
up on my
does.
phone too, just
Oh,
so I
there it
can
goes.
reference it. But oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McCafferty. I was also surprised. I think I took him. Well, yeah, sixth, right? Yeah, sixth overall.
Six. This
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was like the subconscious gift to you from the league.
Uh,
Christian McCaffrey lasting till six.
yeah.
That's unheard
Yeah.
of. He's obviously, there's a lot of question marks about him. I get that and his health, but like, I don't know. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I read a lot of things. I didn't hear anyone having him below like number three. So I
Yeah.
was
I was.
pretty
I was
surprised when he
excited.
fell to you.
But like everyone else, I'm holding my breath that he can last a whole season. But I had to take him. I think my only disappointment this week would be Allen Robinson the second. He I don't know. While watching that game, just seemed like they weren't on the same page. And he was open. He was running routes. He was there. He just didn't. Stafford just didn't throw him the ball.
I mean, he just sort of fixates on Cooper sometimes. Uh, and I had Cooper last year, so I know how fun that can be. So Parker was a beneficiary of that. And I got to tell you, after the Thursday night game, I thought you were in trouble because Parker, after the Thursday night game, had Cooper Kupp turning in his 25.3, and then Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Talk about getting sniped. Parker had me the entire draft. He was taking guys I wanted. I
Yeah.
wanted Jalen Hurts very bad. I wanted Gabriel Davis very badly. Um, and I think he's gonna be like a top 10 guy this season. Gabriel Davis.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. No, I love that guy. I love that guy.
yeah. You had Josh Allen on Thursday night, who was good, but didn't set the world on fire.
No, they
Um,
look like a well-oiled machine there.
yeah, they are. He's gonna score a lot of points, a lot of fantasy points. Um, Parker's got a good squad. Traditionally, he does too. Parker's a tough matchup every year in this league. So it'll be interesting to see how he rebounds from this. But what are you gonna do? He faced the guy who got top points in the league this week. So Mike D takes it and gets the high points honors. Congratulations in your first week in the league.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, Grant and myself had the closest matchup of the week. And though I edged him in the score, it should be noted that Grant, I think, dominated all of us as far as team name goes this week. Juju Rabbit is just chef's kiss, man. That's impressive. I like that a lot.
And I will confess, I every time I'm with somebody or somewhere, they say, "Have you seen Juju Rabbit?" I said, "I have not." And they say that's the funniest movie I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. It's a good movie. And Grant making the just the subtle switch because Jojo Rabbit, but of
Yeah,
course
yeah, yeah,
Frosty.
yeah, yeah.
You'll see as we go on in the season, Mike D. Another tradition in this league is a few teams. A few of us will choose to rename our team each week
Okay.
and with some other movie themed team name. It's usually got something to do with someone on our roster.
Okay.
It's something fun. I've had a different team name for every week that I've been in this league since 2015. So it's something that that we take some pride in.
I like that.
But when you got a name like Los Angeles Brain Rat, you're pretty set. So this was another situation where I thought I was in a lot of trouble after Thursday night. Grant got the big number from his defense. That Bills defense put up 18 against the defending champs. And I knew he was going to be hurting without Kittle. Kittle was going to be an issue, and I myself streamed Hunter Henry in a couple other different leagues, and he gave me nothing. So I feel your pain, Grant. Diggs had the big night also on Thursday. That's tough when you got no one playing on Thursday, but you got to watch the game because what are you gonna do? Not watch the game, and you're watching somebody rack up points against you. That can be disheartening. But yeah, my guys were able to rally. DeAndre Swift, man, I got a lot of shares of him. I got him in a couple different leagues. I think if he stays healthy, which is already popping up on the injury report, I think he could have a big year. Mike Williams was sort of my Allen Robinson, as far as I'm concerned. For you, non-existent, man. He was just not there.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that, especially with Keenan Allen going down and some guy named Carter stepped up, their punt return guy. But no, I was just going to ask you that. Like you set a lineup. Sometimes you'll get it right, but then you'll have a 2 or a 0, but you still survive. But looking at your bench, who would have you gone with?
Well, in hindsight, obviously, I didn't. Thielen didn't give me much. Lazard was hurt, and that's just sort of how it was. Obviously, in hindsight, I could have gotten a few more points from Thielen, but what are you going to do? That's not something I would have seen coming, especially knowing that Keenan Allen goes down early, and then he's they're hitting the tight end a lot. He's spreading it out, man. Herbert was throwing it all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
Which is another interesting thing is Grant's got Herbert, so he's hoping that Herbert's throwing some touchdowns and putting some yards, but he doesn't want to go to Williams, and that's exactly what happened. And that's a rare thing. Usually, when you've got that quarterback, he'll throw a couple touchdowns to the other guy's receiver and hurt you. But Herbert was like intentionally. Maybe Herbert was also playing against Mike Williams in fantasy football this week. So he was staying away from him.
He's probably in Austin Eckler's league trying to get him to. He was throwing it to people. I was like, "Who is that guy?" That's crazy.
I know. Even like you hear, was it Jordan Palmer's name? I've been hearing a lot during the preseason. So as a guy who might step up if one of the top receivers goes down, but even he was just sort of another guy. So
heck, we're gonna find out tomorrow.
But yeah, I was sweating it a little bit going into Monday Night Football. I was down, I think, about 14, and I was projected to get about 18, so I was supposed to win by a few points. McManus, had a great first half. I think he put up like 6 or 7 fantasy points in the first half alone. Sutton, real slow start. Russell Wilson was ignoring his receivers a lot, going to tight ends and going to the running back. But didn't know if I was going to get much of anything from Sutton, but he rallied. Gave me enough.
Yep.
So yeah, I was able to pull it off in our closest game of the week, and so those are the two games of the week this week. And let's just go right down the schedule, down the scoreboard here. Looks like back to back versus Jerry Judy Maguire, another really good
Yeah.
team name this week. Back to back is John Apted, the defending champion in this season. Apted got hot during the playoffs last year and took the whole damn thing.
Nice.
And Jerry Judy Maguire is Justin, the number 1 overall pick. And like I said at the draft, one of the best Laemmle League performers who has yet to claim his chip.
Okay.
The league's only been active, I think, since I want to say the year before I joined, which was I joined in 15, so I think it was only been active since 14.
Okay.
So there are a few people who haven't won titles yet. Still, it's pretty evenly spaced out. There's only one person. Excuse me. There's only one person in the league who's won multiple titles. I won't say who. That wouldn't be classy. But he's won 2, and a number of other people have won 1.
Nice.
So anyway, maybe this will be Justin's year. It didn't start off well for him, though. Do we want to? Can you bring up the box score there for?
Yeah, I was just looking. He's got a good team.
Yeah. Well, you get the number 1 overall pick, and that's going to put you in a position to make some good selections. And I thought he drafted really well overall. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, I think, was. You could argue McCaffrey. Some people were saying McCaffrey, but most people were saying Jonathan Taylor as the number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where you would have gone?
I would have gone either Taylor or Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I like Justin Jefferson, and with the Rams, former Rams offensive coordinator, he's going to throw. I have a bet in Vegas that Kirk Cousins will throw over 40 touchdowns.
Oh,
I feel like
that.
I feel comfortable with that after watching him the first time. But yeah, I would have gone with. You can't go wrong with Taylor or Jefferson.
Yeah, no, I had heard the Justin Jefferson number 1 overall theory from a few guys that I listen to and read. Hard to argue against it after that week 1.
No.
You see what the coach over there did with Cooper Kupp last season, and it's hard to argue that Justin Jefferson isn't more talented than Cooper Kupp. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds.
That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
And the best thing is
anyway,
that Jalen Reagor's there. I love that.
Yeah, that's true. They're deep, man. They're real deep. Jonathan Taylor had a great game. Game worthy of a number 1 overall pick. Gave Justin 25.5. Javonte Williams, man, he got a ton of targets. I think he must have gotten like 10 or 11 targets. So that's, if that keeps up all season, he's going to be a very valuable piece. Justin's team is a little Broncos centric. I mentioned, I think in an email after the draft, Justin is a big Patriots fan in real life football. So in past years, his roster has sort of reflected that. But this year, he's into it. He's saying, "Let's ride," I guess.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Maybe Justin will get one of those aluminum foil tuxedos that Russ was sporting on the pregame yesterday. Justin, you should know and be ready. I'm going to make fun of Russell Wilson all season long. I get that he's a fantastic football player and a great fantasy football player, and I don't blame you for drafting him. But he's kind of a dork. He's just I don't know.
He's a robot.
I'm going to make fun of him a lot.
He bought a house with 4 bedrooms and 27 bathrooms.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Let's ride, man. Let's ride. He's just kind of corny. Whatever. I'm sure he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's focus on the defending champ here. John Apted. And by the way, naming his team back-to-back. That's gutsy. That's coming right out and saying, look, I'm going to repeat this season. We'll see if he's got the squad to back it up. I didn't see what he did on the waiver wire today, but I hope he did something to replace that RB2 there, because
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell's going to be out for a couple months, it looks like.
He's got Gibson on the bench.
Yeah, really good value, Antonio Gibson. I'm sure he drafted him pretty late. I don't have it in front of me, but Antonio Gibson was a great value in this year's draft. The aforementioned Justin Jefferson. This kid's going to be just. I don't know who was watching the game, but I have Red Zone, so I see everything.
Yeah.
And he caught a pass at one point and was absolutely stunned with how open he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I do.
Like he caught it and took a couple steps back as if he were, bracing or gonna make a move or something, and there was just nobody there.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just the Packers defense or if they're using some schemes in Minnesota that are just getting him that open, but it's scary, man.
Yeah, if he can get open like that. This is a good squad. It's a good squad back to back.
Yeah. Nick Chubb, man, that's a solid 100 yards every week, and maybe he'll get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Kareem's gonna poach a few touchdowns from him and catch more balls, but Kelsey's tough. This is a good team right here.
Yeah, and with Mitchell going down, look, he's got some good options, and Herbert, Walker, and Gibson. Those guys can go off at any time.
Khalil Herbert, man.
We'll see.
If he gets the opportunity, he's gonna be a tough. He's gonna be a tough player in this league.
Oh yeah.
There was a spell when Montgomery was out last year or maybe the season before, that I rode Herbert for a while and was very pleased.
Yeah, they're already calling for Herbert to play on Twitter already.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. All right, so this is Apted starting off his title defense successfully with the win over Jerry Judy Maguire.
Third place already.
All right. So let's check out Team CT versus Team Fam there. Team CT is Christy Clevenger. She's back after a one-season hiatus. The sister of treasurer Caitlyn Clevenger, a perennial playoff opponent of mine. Actually, Christy and I have played each other in the playoffs like 5 or 6 times. Like it's a really high number. Like we always play each other in the playoffs.
Nice.
I don't know if you've got any nemesis that you run into over and over again in fantasy football.
Yeah, I got a few. I'm in a few leagues where it was before. I was almost saying, it was before the internet, but it was during the beginning of the internet where you did the box scores in the newspaper.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's well before I was into it, but I've heard about it. I've heard about those leagues.
Yeah. We're still going. We haven't stopped.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. All right, so let's start. Christy's opponent today was Chris Pham. I think Chris is in Africa at the moment, so he might not even give a shit about the outcome of this game. And who can blame him if he's on safari or something?
Yeah, that's nice.
But he didn't get he got a decent amount from Kyler Murray. I guess not a huge game, but I guess he probably got some rushing yardage to put him up over 20 points. You like Kyler this season? What do you think of Kyler?
I do like Kyler. He just needs to. I don't think I'm a big a fan of the coach as I am of the quarterback, but the pieces are there. But he seemed a little rushed and did some joystick moves, back, forth, right, left, up, down. But they're banged up too. They're missing some pieces. Moore was out, Hopkins was out, so I like Kyler to be definitely I would say top 10 quarterback this season. But looking at his lineup that he started, that's a good choice, because I was kind of concerned what Michael Thomas would do in his return, but he stayed true to form. He's Michael Thomas, so now we know.
Yeah, with no Sean Payton, no Drew Brees, but he still gets in the end zone twice, and I don't know, would he catch about six, seven passes, something like that.
Yeah. And I didn't even know if it feels like he hasn't played in 2 years, but
Right. So we'll see. I think Jarvis Landry ended up with about 11 catches. So we'll see if he continues to be the sort of dominant, you know, target at least guy, or if Michael Thomas sort of rounds into form and overtakes that.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Najee, did Najee go out? Najee didn't
he
have a
did.
big
He
game.
went out.
Yeah.
I think the third quarter. He has a bruised foot underneath. It's not quite broken. I can't remember the name of it. It's named after some guy injury.
The Liz
But
Frank.
he's coming back. Yes, but it's like uh, a bruised Liz Frank kind of thing or
Okay.
whatever. Um,
Okay.
but he's going to play again. But yeah, that Pittsburgh
Okay.
game was crazy too. So
That was a crazy game, man. No one wanted to win.
no, I thought there was going to be two ties in
Missed
the
field
first
goal
week.
after missed field goal. I don't know, if anyone was starting Bosworth or the Cincinnati guy. Probably the Cincinnati guy from McPherson for sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure somebody started him, but that that had to be frustrating if you were keeping up with that.
it was
Um,
ridiculous.
Debo, yeah, not a lot for Debo. That was a tough game. You can't really, I've got Trey in a league. We'll talk about him once we get to Christy's team. It's tough to really judge what happened in that San Francisco Chicago game. It was played in an absolute monsoon.
Yeah,
So I don't know. We'll see if Debo continues to be sort of the Christian McCaffrey of wide receivers and does it all this season, or how they use him.
yeah, I think they're going to use him a lot. But yeah, no, I agree with you with the weather. It's 50-50 on how you're going to do. Either someone's going to kill it or you're just going to fall down a lot.
Yeah.
But no, Debo I think will be Debo, but it was Debo. That's a lot of matchups with that Debo and Trey Lance versus each other.
Yeah. There have been. Yeah, that's been a theme in week one in the Laemmle League. A lot of quarterbacks on one side with their top receiver on the other.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, Chrissy didn't get much from Trey. Again, tough to really be too harsh of a judge in that weather. Dalvin Cook, not a big day. You with that offense being as prolific as it's going to be. I mean, I guess they were up early. They probably took their foot off the gas a little bit. Still ended up with 12.3. But it was Devontae for Christie. That was the story for Team CT this week.
yeah,
Devontae and his buddy Derek Carr.
yeah. I'm just gonna throw to you, Devontae. That's it.
Can you blame him?
I'm just gonna throw it up there.
I think he had as many receptions as all the Packers wide receivers did this week. They had
Yeah,
12. I want to say he had like 11, so it was close.
yeah.
But he didn't seem to miss a beat, you know?
No, and I'm curious about the Raiders and the Patriots schemes and
Yeah.
traditions with the three running backs and
Mhm.
tight ends. I mean, everything's there. They got and all Adams is the Randy Moss guy is gonna, and Carr could go. They could go off this year.
Yeah, they could. And I'll tell you, Christy's going to be interested in the Raiders too, because she's got some stock. Her wide receiver one and her running back two. And she's also got Josh Jacobs in there. So
Oh yeah,
she'll definitely be interested in what's happening out in Vegas this season. Uh, I'll be interested in what's happening in Atlanta. Kyle Pitts is one of the more fascinating players in the league this year, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
I drafted him last year as a rookie, thinking he was going to absolutely blow up, and he had a very good rookie season, but
yeah,
couldn't find the end zone, and was maybe a little underwhelming. But a lot of people were. Christy took him in the third round. I know that because I wanted him very badly in the third round, but
yeah.
she got to him first. So Going to be looking for more than 2 catches, for 2.9 fantasy points from him.
Yeah. It's I like Marcus Mariota. I think he's fine, and I'm just more wondering if it's the offense and the coach and not the players, because Pitts is good. I mean, even when Pitts and Calvin Ridley were there, and Matt Ryan was behind the center. He was they weren't putting up numbers, so I'm already putting Arthur Smith on the hot seat. But Kyle Pitts, I think, needs to be used a lot differently.
Well, I mean, they're setting him up. He's running wide receiver routes. He's coming out of the slot. He's coming out wide, so. But he seems to be the focal point of every defense, which is strange for a tight end to command that kind of attention. But maybe that'll help, guys like Drake London or Patterson, even when they put him out there. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how Pitts progresses this year.
Yeah, no, I'm a former Falcons fan. Back on the wagon because there's another Oregon quarterback there, but back in the day, there was another Oregon quarterback there. I think his name was Chris Miller, way back in the day, and that's when I started following the Falcons. But I'm excited. I was sad that they let New Orleans come back and win, but yeah.
Mariota looked pretty good, man. He and Mariota has always supported his tight ends too. He did a lot with Walker. What can I think of his first name in Tennessee?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's still in the league. He's over in New England now, or he was last season paired against Hunter Henry. That'll bother me for a while, and then I'll figure it out. But anyway, Mariota loves his tight end, so that could be good news for Kyle Pitts fans, and specifically in this instance, Christy. Dobbins is going to be interesting for Kadarius Toney. I mean, talk about guys I'm interested in this season. You see such flash from him. You wonder if it'll be all that promise or any of that promise will be realized.
Yeah. No, I like your bench. Pacheco, he's got Pacheco. That's excellent. I'm already rooting for that guy. I like him.
Yeah, he came in for a little garbage time the other night and looked pretty damn good. And as someone who's got Clyde Edwards-Helaire in a couple leagues, that's a bit concerning, but we'll see.
Yeah, I drafted him in all my leagues because I watched him through training camp. He has a good story. He works hard, and I think he'll fit in there eventually at some point.
Yeah, Delaney Walker is the name I was looking for.
Oh, okay,
Delaney Walker. So anyway, that was the matchup that was. Christy takes it 97.96 to 88.82, and gets off to a win in her return to the Laemmle League. Leaving us with our final matchup of the week, and that would be Treasurer Clevenger versus Curtis Jones. Caitlyn got a 25-point victory on the back mostly of her quarterback there, Mr. Take Me Home, Country Mahomes as it is. Or Country Roads Take Mahomes. It's a great name. It's a great name. But Patrick looked just fine without Tyreek.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have any doubt. I don't know why people were talking about that. I mean, if you have Kelsey and Hill, who else are you going to throw it to? And then if Hill leaves, you got, he's going to throw it to other people. He's like Herbert, catch the ball. You're going to score a touchdown if you can catch the ball.
Yeah, the guy who gets open is the guy that's going to benefit, not necessarily targeting the same guy every week.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's going to be a dangerous offense if they can keep that going. You think Tyreek misses Patrick more than Patrick misses Tyreek?
Oh yeah, for sure. I like Tua. I do have a team called the Tua Side Squad. So I'm a Tua fan, but he should be fine with Chase and Waddle and Hill and Cedric Wilson, and it looks like a kid. It looks like the head coach looks like a young kid that just showed up and said, "Hey, I know how to coach. I know how to coach football."
It's a lot of coaches in the league, man.
Yeah,
And, I mean, I'm not that old, for God's sake, but a lot of these dudes are, looking real young.
yeah. Looks like a Portland hipster that showed up in Miami. Like, hey, I can do this. I
He
can beat.
does. He's got an interesting look to him. He's also got like he could be the head of like a crime syndicate. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are calling him like sort of a nerdy look, but I think there's sort of like maybe like drug runner
Okay.
like kind of vibe to to him. Maybe it's the Miami. I'm just stereotyping who was in Miami, but I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, he
Uh,
beat Belichick, so he's already off to a
yeah.
good start.
So also off to a good start was Caitlyn this week, but at what cost? Maybe an injury to Alvin Kamara, uh, definitely an injury to Keenan Allen. Where the hell was Cam Akers? So there's definitely some question marks in this roster.
And Butker went down.
Did Butker go down too?
He did. He went down for a little bit, and then I believe it was the cornerback, number 20, kicked the extra point, and then Butker did come back in and kick, but he's not going to play tomorrow.
That's right. I remember that. So are they using the backup guy, the cornerback?
That wasn't even said. I don't know. I would
That's
assume
interesting.
so
I
because they would
probably
have
never
to
heard if they
sign
signed
someone.
someone. Yeah. And if the Butker injury is not going to be long term, they probably wouldn't go to that length.
Yeah, the
But
other
I
guy seems
saw
pretty
I saw
good.
him kicking. He looked like he was having the time of his life doing it.
Yeah, yeah. He's a soccer player, and he used to be the backup kicker where he played at college. But yeah,
Yeah, he kicked off after one of the many Mahomes touchdowns, and he put it right through the uprights on the
yeah.
kickoff.
No,
So
let's take
pretty
a look at this
impressive.
bench.
So we'll see what Caitlyn's able to do. She's going to need that bench. The Cam Akers situation is got to be a frustrating one thing for her, and many owners because it was all Daryl Henderson last week.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
I wonder if that'll continue.
I took Akers a few leagues, and I have 2 dynasty leagues where I have had him for the last 3 years. But I just recently traded him in both of the dynasty leagues. I was impressed that he came back from being hurt, but there's something missing.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, maybe he's just off to a slow start and he's not 100% ready to be out there yet. But that could hurt Caitlyn if it's an extended period of time. Maybe looking at Damian Harris, James Cook, not a great start. Fumbled on his first NFL touch.
It's another one. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a tough spot anyway. The Buffalo running back. It's tough to trust anybody in that role, and you can look right across the rosters there and see, Curtis with the starting running back of the Buffalo Bills. Probably expected to be the highest scoring team in the league, certainly one of them this year, and
Yeah.
and he can't even crack a starting lineup in a fantasy roster.
That's true. Yeah, I don't. They're. I'll say this. I won't give up on James Cook. I'll let him have his comeback story and say, hey, that was just one game. I'm done. I'm like my brother Dalvin, and I'll ball out. So, and with that being said, you never know. He could have a bad game and then leapfrog Moss and Singletary and be the RB1. So
he could. No doubt, that's a very possible thing out there, which adds to the allure of a guy like James Cook. Treylon Burks is in that category too. If he breaks out, and there's not a lot of competition for targets out there. Don't think the commissioner, or the treasurer rather, is going to get a lot out of Dak Prescott anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see. She's not going to need him, with Mahomes playing the way he was, but
Yeah, I mean, according to Jerry, he'll be back pretty soon. I'm not 4 game,
Oh, well,
5
Jerry
games.
says it. I believe it.
That stuff is crazy.
That's an interesting thing also for, Ezekiel Elliott owners and, Tony Pollard owners, because, if I'm running that team, I turn them into the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, just run
Right
the
now,
ball.
yeah, they don't let Brissett do anything but throw short, and they've got Pollard and they've got Zeke, and just lean on those two and let, CeeDee Lamb run some short routes, some jet sweeps or something, and
Yeah.
throw 6 passes a game. Just turn into a running team.
No, I think that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're smart enough to do that.
Wouldn't be good for Dalton Schultz. He and Dak seemed to have a pretty good connection. He was always a bit of a target monster for Dak. So we'll see how that hurts Caitlyn going forward. Ripple effect, man. Ripple effect.
Yeah.
And then over here on the other side of the field, there we got Team Jones. Nice showing from playoff Lenny. Leonard Fournette chipped in his 14.7.
Yeah.
Tyreek with 14. Scary Terry with 12.8.
Yeah.
Bucks defense with 12. Not bad, not bad. Didn't get anything from Rodgers. Man, Rodgers was disappointing. 3.7 points. That's tough.
That's crazy.
Maybe the ayahuasca is still
Yeah.
fogging up his brain a little bit.
Nah, it's strange that they don't go out and get good receivers. I mean, these kids are. I was listening to some guy yesterday saying these 3 guys that are out there besides Watkins are they played like not top-notch college football. So this is the first NFL game that they've been in. It's higher speed, faster, everyone's better. Yeah. So I think they were just like, "Oh shit, this is real."
It's real now, yeah. Well, I mean, what an auspicious start. I mean, I don't know if it's the first play of the game, but I'm pretty sure the first pass of the game. I mean, Rodgers puts it right on, I think it's Christian Watson. Is that his
Watson,
first name?
Yeah.
Puts it right on the kid's hands, and he was gone. He was gone. The kid had just torched his defender.
Yeah.
And it's just, and you know what? If he catches that ball, maybe it's in a completely different day. Who knows?
No, that's me. That was me right there. That would be my first NFL game if I was a receiver. I'd drop it. I gave it a shot. I went out there. I ran a route. I'm done.
And he just went right to his helmet. What an awful moment that had to be for him. What all the hype leading up to it, and finally, and he just burns this guy right off the line.
Yeah, that would have to suck, and then have to look at Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to be pissed. He's just like,
go back to that
huddle.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. You can just feel the eye of his tattoos staring at you.
But you got to see how you handle it. I would come back and say, you know what, I missed it. I won't miss it again. So throw it to me.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the case over there. Derrick Henry, you definitely want more out of a Derrick Henry than 8.2. We'll see. I didn't see much of his game, so I don't know how he looked. If he looked like he had any residual effects from last year's injury, I don't know.
No, I think it was just bad. I'm not a fan of the coach. Mm-hmm. Same results year after year after year, but
yeah,
I think it was just a bad game all around. He looked fine. Yeah, he looked fine, but just like anything else, if you're going to keep running, doing the same thing over and over, he's going to get tired at some point.
You got to think there are brighter days ahead for Dawson Knox in that Buffalo offense. He was sort of the Bills Mafia sort of rallied around him in the offseason. I think he had some unfortunate family tragedy, but he's definitely a feel-good story this year, and a hell of a tight end.
Yeah, he's good. Allen will get him the ball. Yeah, Buffalo is another team. He's going to share the ball with his receivers and tight ends.
Yeah.
But you're right, Fournette. He looked great. Called him fat coming in, and he really looked really good.
Oh yeah, who the press was calling him fat?
Yeah, because he showed up overweight, but he's like, I'm not overweight. What are you guys talking about?
I'm a veteran. It's just because
Yeah,
he's wearing two
yeah,
jerseys, because he's always got the LSU jersey underneath. He just looks a little
yeah.
bulkier.
I'm a running back,
Uh,
for God's sakes.
yeah,
Who, Devontae
Deontay
Smith on
Foreman.
the bench?
Well, I mean, he didn't get anything at all, man. AJ Brown, to my benefit, was dominating targets this week.
Oh,
So,
wow.
someone made a good point that with a guy like Jalen Hurts, he's going to look for that first read, and if it's not there, he's going to take off instead of like making the progression. And AJ Brown will be the guy he looks to first most times, and will he get to Devontae often? I don't know.
That's crazy because I don't have Devontae in any of my. I'm in 6 leagues. I don't have
Mm.
him in not one, and I did not
So
realize he did not score. That's crazy.
yeah, no, nothing at all for Devontae. So that's how it ended for these two in this opening week matchup. It was Treasurer Clevenger getting the victory. Speaking of multiple leagues, philosophically speaking, do you like to sort of diversify and get a lot of different guys in different leagues, or do you kind of have your guys and you ride or die with them?
So I do have my guys. I'm in 3, well now 4, concluding this one, redraft leagues, and then I'm in 2, no 3 other dynasty leagues, dynasty empire leagues, where dynasty league is you do an original draft and then you just keep that team intact and you just draft college rookies. So you
Okay.
have the same team, and the way the league blows up is if someone wins back to back. If someone wins back to back, they win a. There's a yearly prize, and then there's a jackpot prize, and like one of my dynasty leagues is in year 3, and that jackpot prize is like $2,900.
Nice.
So with that in mind, when I did the redraft leagues, I have to think you gotta change my mindset and draft people that are gonna win for me this year, not 2 years from now or three
Right.
years from now. So
Yeah, that's really
uh,
cool.
yeah, I take. I love me some Josh Allen. Always I love me Lamar Jackson, and I have Bateman.
Yeah.
Bateman. I don't know why I have Bateman in all of my leagues.
Okay. Yeah. He had a touchdown in the opening week.
Yeah, yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
Long bomb. No, I'm rooting for Lamar. I like how he's taking on the contract with his mom and not settling for what they want to give him. And
I heard 250. I heard 250 was on the table, or maybe
it was
230. It was
250,
something number.
120. I think it was 125 guaranteed or something like that.
Okay.
Which I think he's just going to ride it out and say either you're going to pay me or someone else is going to pay me in 2 years. So I'm good.
There's a few teams. I mean, you put him on Minnesota, you put him on Detroit.
Yeah.
There's some teams where like he takes him to the Super Bowl next season.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. He's a great athlete, and he took. Reason why I took him and a couple of my other leagues is because he worked with Tom Brady's throwing coach, and he's a baseball player, former baseball player. He worked with Brady and Carson Wentz, and I can't remember the other guy, but it showed. It showed in game 1. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It was a bit of a slow start, but he definitely cranked it up towards the end. Didn't use his tight end as often as I would have liked to have seen for my fantasy purposes,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Hopefully, brighter days are ahead. So looking forward to this week. Just a quick glance. I got Justin. Let's see. You play Team
Jones.
Jones. Let's see any other interesting matchups. Parker versus Grant, the two guys that we played last week, the third and fourth highest scoring teams in the league, but they got losses. because fantasy football is totally unfair.
Yeah.
Grant and Parker outscored everyone in the league except for the two guys they were playing. It's a bummer.
Yep.
But that's how it goes. This is the life we've chosen. That's all I got for this week. What do you think, Mike D?
No, thank you for inviting me into the back into the Laemmle family.
It's great to have you.
Yeah.
It's where you belong. Yeah, this league should have you. It's not right for this league to not have you in it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's my first ESPN too. So.
Oh really? Are you Yahoo? All the other ones?
Sleeper. I moved over to this.
I've been hearing about Sleeper.
Sleeper
okay.
is your fantasy football heaven. It's it's like Facebook and Instagram. You can upload videos. You can chat.
Yeah, I've heard of
it's geared towards your phone and not your laptop.
Okay.
So the app is crazy, and it also you can place bets on your team and your players, real money, and it has all different formats. It has it's like 3 or 4 years old, and it's free. But I'm gonna get you into a dynasty league here, and you can check out Sleeper next year with some former Laemmle folks. And current, I gotta say the name right. I don't want to blow it. Luis and Lauren's theater. Luminary.
What was once the music hall.
Yes. They're in a league. And Valentino.
Still the music hall, I suppose. Okay, so Valentino and Luis and Lauren. Okay.
Yeah, Lauren started last year. First time playing fantasy football.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Laemmle Leaguers, let me know. I'm curious how many of you listened, hung in there throughout the whole thing. How many of you just sort of fast forwarded to your own games recap? Let us know what you think. Maybe going forward, we'll get some guests. From the league to come in. We'll do some fun things. I think this could be fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and we'll do it every. How about I'm open every Wednesday, so let's do it every Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm into that. I like the sound of that, and it's good stuff. Thanks, Mike
Sounds
D,
good.
for having us into your studio.
Got it.
Till next week. Best of luck to everyone in the league, obviously except for Justin, who's playing me.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
All right.
See ya.
All right. See you, man.
Bye.